Welcome back, Superstar. I am here with Phil M. Jones, my friend. He's a colleague. And you can see that we have some books here in the middle, and that's because we are going to talk about books. Phil has launched a book that has sold over 1.4 million copies worldwide. And I wanted him to tell us, what does it take to launch a successful book and sell 1 million copies of a book? Before we move into the specific 10 steps, I'm curious, you've shared a lot about this book in other videos. Why don't we do a quick recap? What is this book? Where did this come from? What is it for?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what to say is a book that you mentioned that has now done over 1.4 million copies. This has been an embodiment of my life's work. So this is the distillation of 20 years worth of hyper-focused activity around sales conversations and how you can be more influential and persuasive in those moments.
Okay, so this was your proven method book that became a big idea book.
Well, yes, but other people have made it become a big idea book. But what's really interesting in that book is it started as a 2-page PDF that supported trainings back in 2007, 2008, 2009. Wow. And then what happened was I went to a networking event with some other speakers and authors. We challenged each other on a few things. One of them was challenged by how hard it was to publish a book. Okay. I said it was easy. This was back in the day where like Lulu was coming to the scene from a self-publishing point of view. I said I could turn a book around in 2 weeks.
You did this in 2 weeks?
I did not.
From your PDF, from your training?
What I did is I elevated the PDF to be a book. The book was called Magic Words. Oh. The book was 17 sequences of words to influence and impact. And it was a tiny, thin little, almost pamphlet-like book. I printed it. I published it to Amazon. We did a KDP, so a Kindle push for this. We had 120,000 downloads of it on a free Kindle promotion. Wow. And it was like, okay, that's...
And you didn't have 120,000 people on your email list, did you?
No, that came from being in the right time, in the right place, within that Kindle launching a new thing and get caught in a current. It was being brave enough to try something early and getting some good fortune alongside it. We didn't make a ton of money on it, but people liked it. It resonated. It got good reviews. People were responding to it. That little book then became giveaway at events. That little book then became a download for lead capture on my website for years, etc. I'd also talk about it when I would do events to drive traffic back towards events and speaking. And it was my little go-to giveaway in a variety of different ways. When I moved to the US from the UK in 2017, I thought, well, I've got to launch a new book. It's going to help with my speaking business, move me from a global speaker to a North American speaker, give the bureaus something to be able to talk about. I'm like, got to write a new book, got to write a new book, got to write a new book, and went, you idiot.
You've got a book.
Right. I had other books going on, and we've done other books in the past as well, but I'm like, why don't I just rewrite this book properly?
Yeah.
And that's where exactly what to say came from. It's the third iteration.
Wow.
And if you think of it this way, is a musician might release a single that does well, that they take on tour and people have fun with it. They then produce an EP, and then when that goes well, it becomes an album. That's really how this book has evolved over...
And then you got the greatest hits.
Yeah, that's it. Well, and now we're doing it acoustic, we're doing it, live rock concert, we're doing all of that stuff. But it started a long time ago, and it wasn't like, oh, you just rolled this thing out, and it was a proven success story. It was the evolution upon an evolution upon the evolution of a single idea, which I think is why it's a proven method book, because it's refined and shaped in a lot of different ways.
Well, and now I'm curious about this book, right? I know you love this book. Yes. I love it too. It's sexy.
Yep.
Why did you do this? What is this?
I get asked a lot of questions about the small little book, about like, how do you take it further? How do you do more with it? Like, what's the method behind the madness? Can you give me some more examples? I wish I could scribble more notes in it, and all of those kind of things. So taking all of those questions that people gave me, plus the fact that when we did 1 million copies, nobody presented me with a gold disc. Nobody was like, ta-da, you did it. Like, nothing happens. So I'm going to create my own trophy. I think what we need in life sometimes
looks like a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, and is we're making EWTS happen as an acronym inside our organization. We like share it with others.
How do you say EWTS? EWTS?
Well, yeah, EWTS. But the whole intention of this version of the book is to give it long-lasting life. So like the whole idea is we only did that for Amazon.
Okay.
And it's like, look, it's got beautiful gold on the spine, and this is now, we call it your personal guide to mastery of magic words. This is about elevating it to a new level, and you're seeing here, like, we add more method to it, we give people ability to put their own notes in it, etc. We prompt them through challenges, we prompt them through getting clear on the method behind the madness. This is my version of an online course.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen online and you do it by yourself, or you can do it with others, and it lives in a book that is designed to not necessarily look like a typical book.
Well, and why wouldn't somebody want to start with something like this?
Oh, heck, they can.
Okay.
But when you got 1.4 million people behind it, that's the whole point of who is this looking to help. So when this book is released, the goal behind it is it has to help somebody who's brand new, meeting the work for the very first time, but it also has to add value to somebody that was a fan of the original book, right? It has to take them further, and it has to also serve all by itself without you feeling like you need to go back and get,
because I was thinking, this kind of goes down my pathway. It's like, this is the speech is the aha, the book is the breakthrough, and this is the mastery.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, mastery comes even
and
further down.
And some people can jump right into this.
That's it. And I think, is people might meet the work also through a video book or through a recording of a speech on YouTube, or that they might, bump into it elsewhere, and they're like, oh, I like this, I get the concept, I'm going to queue jump book 1, jump straight to book 2, and get right into the heart of making
buy all of them right away, right? Do you get people that do that they just are like, I want it all?
Yeah, and what we get even more than that is lots of people saying, I've bought multiple copies for my team, and what I'm doing is I'm running a mastermind, or I know you have a lot of coaches, consultants, trainers in this, is they'll buy the book and then they'll work with their people through it over a little snapshot of their 12-week program, etc. Is that they'll insert it into retreats, or they'll insert it into just a mastermind group conversation on Zoom. So it's,
well, and if you're going to sell 1 million books, it's a lot easier to do it by selling in increments of 100 and 200 and 1,000 and 10,000. What's the biggest quantity bulk order of books you've ever had?
20,000 units.
20,000. Can you tell us who that was? Or
it was to a major auto company in Australia.
Okay.
And they bought them for all of their staff across the whole of the country in Australia.
Let's set that intention for more of that, please, right?
Yeah, and I love that though, but no, that runs to a dead end.
It does.
Right, and also what happens is you sell 20,000 units. I'm 100% certain that not more than 2,000 of those units ever got read.
Wow, okay.
Just because of they become token giveaway goodies, etc. There's no inherent heart in the how I earned the ownership of that book.
Okay.
So it hits a dead end. My goal for being able to drive books on a never-ending story is I'd rather an independent coach buys 20 to share with their clients, and then they run a study group around it, right?
Yeah.
That's how it runs.
Right.
Because people experience it, and people chase these big number one-off transactions.
Okay.
No, I want a lot of a little on repeat.
I love that. All right, thank you so much, Phil. That was a fantastic conversation. I hope you checked out all 3 or 4, I don't even know how many videos that were in this series, all about how to launch a successful book and sell at least 1 million copies.
Or as many as you would like. How about that? As many as you would like, even if it's 6 or 60 million. I'm pretty sure that this kind of roadmap or blueprint might help you get a touch closer.
All right, I love it.
So the second thing is to craft the user experience.
Okay.
Right? You've mentioned here about the paperback and the hardcover, and then the kids' book and other things. Is books should be designed as well as written. And by which I mean they're designed to be interacted with in a certain way.